This is a podcast miniseries presented by Modular Media.
Double Craig burger with extra cheese, please.
Double Craig burger with extra boats.
Whoa.
Give us all the boats.
Give us the mouse.
And give us another episode of a little worse than a pod, a little better than a cast. Oh, God, I'm the best with intros. I'm the Vacuuminator. Boingo Riders here. Buster Core's here. We're here to discuss the first episode of Wandavision!
Back here, you started to cut out.
What's your five?
Can we restart that?
Wow.
You got it. He was fine.
No, because on my end it was like glitching out.
What's the last thing you heard?
Like it was just.
It's because he backed away from the mic. He's saying Wandavision.
Yeah, stretch those syllables. It's called showmanship.
I guess.
Never be a ring announcer if you don't have some showmanship.
I mean, if you want to start over, Vac.
All right, I guess if you insist, you plebeians. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another. You fucker! You fucking ruined it! I quit! I quit the whole show! You made it bad now!
So, WandaVision.
Let's just keep going.
It did end this week. We did get the last episode, and none of the fan theories were true. What'd you think?
I'm okay with that because it was a pretty okay episode, although it made me realize I am now very concerned for the rest of the MCU shows for reasons we'll get into.
It was definitely the ending of every Marvel movie with a nice little end bit.
Yeah, we got two. We'll talk about them later, but we got two mid-credit scenes. Just FYI.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
But I guess I was right. It just kind of ended in a big old Marvel smash fest.
Yeah,
I mean,
kind of
to an extent, but also not to an extent because the Marvel Smash Fest isn't what ended everything.
Yeah, you're right. Let's go by this beat by beat. I need to pull up the episode so I could be reminded of what happened because I only remember like the second half of it. So the Wanda, Agnes is like choking the kids as you do because choking kids is apparently a really cool pastime for villains. I don't know. I wouldn't know. I'm not evil. I think.
But really cool, ingenious, immediate use of the power because Wanda throws some and then Agatha Harkness absorbs it and goes like, "Hey, that's my MO. That's the puzzle you have to solve in this story." And Wanda goes, "All right," and so she just drags a car and crashes into her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and then we got a fucking Wizard of Oz homage, which was cool.
Really, we did?
Yeah, with the boots underneath the car.
Oh, okay. That's like, that's the thing I remember the least from Wizard of Oz. Also, White Vision. He just shows up and nearly crushes Wanda's face. That's pretty key.
Yeah,
no?
I can't wait until these Disney Plus shows all lead to White Vision, U.S. Agent, and a couple other characters teaming up to form the racist Avengers.
I mean, Dark Reign, Dark Avengers.
Dang it.
I couldn't help it. I'm sorry.
I hate it here.
We do have the Iron Patriot armor.
Dang.
Oh, fucking... And Spider-Man is it, so just have Norman Osborn pop up and immediately go for that armor.
Dang.
The only person we don't have is, we got Deadpool. We can use Deadpool. And Daken. We don't have Daken.
We could have Daken very easy.
Yeah, also, it's like the next major thing that happens is like, that scene with like, where like Agnes freezes freeze all the people in the Westview, and it's like, and now they're all just like, Wanda, please stop, like, what, please just do, like, this one mother who's like, what, can you please let my kid just do something on your show?
Yeah, Dottie from episode 2, the bitch neighbor.
Yeah, and it, like, she turns out to be a wholesome fella, and it's like...
Yeah, and that's when Wanda realizes, oh, I have not been in control as much as I thought I was. This is bad.
Yeah, and just like the fact that like that scene where like everyone is just around her and just be like, that's pretty good. That was very tense and probably one of the better well done scenes in the episode.
And another instance in the MCU of Wanda doing something really fucked up, and then by the end of this episode, she's not getting any consequence patch.
Yeah. I mean,
but also like I don't, because some people have been going like, oh, it's been like a month. I'm going like, no, it's been like a few days. It's fucked up, but it's not like they're starving.
I guess. Also, let's
They're all
talk
gonna
about
need extensive therapy, but shit works out.
I mean, I don't know how I like. We'll talk about the Wanda. We'll talk about it now. I'm not sure how I feel about Wanda getting off very easy in this episode. I really don't know, because like she does.
I would be fine with it were it not for Monica being like, "Oh, they'll never know what you sacrificed." Like, don't try and make this sound inspirational, okay? She's cleaning up a mess she made the best she can.
Yeah, that feels a bit problematic.
I think it's also Monica going like, "Hey, you fucked up, but I understand."
Mm-hmm.
I guess it can be taken that way.
Especially when she started the phrase with, "Yo, if I had your power, my mom would be alive right now." You know.
Also, when she starts taking down the Hex, and you see the boys and Vision starting to disintegrate. Boingo, did you mark out like I did at the fact that they just wholesale ripped the disintegrating effect from House of M?
Yeah, that's straight up House of M. It was great.
Nice. Speaking of lighter things that doesn't involve people getting off without consequences or fictional fragments of magic dying. Quicksilver twist. I like it. It was funny. Basically, Quicksilver is not the Fox Quicksilver. It's this guy named Ralph Boner.
Boner.
Yeah. How do you feel about this twist?
I'm fine with it. Like, part of me is a little sad. Is like, oh, we're not getting some cool multiverse stuff yet, but also we're gonna be getting that in Doctor Strange, whatever. My first immediate thought was like, oh, what if he still has speed powers, and what if they make him the Wizard?
I'm pretty sure though that when Monica took off that necklace, his powers went with him.
Very possible, but I'm just saying, like, oh, that'd be fun. Because Monica got powers through the Hex. He might have gotten some weird fucking bullshit. You don't know.
Let me just say, I think I called this, like, when he first showed up in episode 5. It was still really cool to see him for the episodes he was in, though. Like, I feel like it was a really cool twist, and while it didn't really end up meaning anything for the larger MCU, it was really well done within the context of the show. And it was nice to see Evan Peters back doing his Quicksilver shtick. Although definitely. I'm really pissed that he didn't get a slow-mo scene.
Yeah, that would have been neat, but I don't know how you
I think if they'd have done the slow-mo scene, if they did that, it would add too much fuel to the, oh, he has to be Fox Quicksilver.
Oh, fair. Yeah.
And by not doing that and just kind of replicating MCU version Quicksilver powers, it basically eases the blow of he's nothing. He's a dick joke.
Yeah. Literally.
It's funny that some people are so enraged by it because it's kind of the same thing as Iron Man 3.
Oh, the Mandarin thing?
Mm-hmm. I mean, there's two things they kind of ripped from old MCU stuff in the way that they handled them in this, and we'll get to the other one in a little bit. But how are we feeling about the ultimate fate of Agatha?
I think it was a hilarious
she's
fate.
There for.
I think it was a very funny way to end her, and I feel like that's like that would be my worst nightmare as well. But also it still leaves we keep her defeated, but we can still bring her back for future projects.
Mm-hmm.
Like a certain Loki show, or say Fantastic Four, or Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah, I was thinking Multiverse of Madness. She would Wanda would be like, okay, Multiverse is going crazy. Maybe she knows something about this.
What if the way they remind us that Baron Mordo exists, because he's not going to be in that movie for some reason, is that the end credit scene of the Multiverse of Madness is just Mordo killing her.
That'd be a horrible waste of Catherine.
Yeah,
it would be.
I'm just saying though, it's something they do because like, oh shit, we set up Mordo and now we're acting like he doesn't exist.
Did they confirm Mordo for Doctor Strange 2 or not yet?
From what I've heard, he's not the villain.
That's weird. Maybe he'll be like an anti-villain? Like, not anti-villain, that sounds dumb.
Anti-villain is a real thing. It's a villain who does villainous acts for heroic reasons.
And that's kind of what he is, he's trying to kill all magic because he thinks it's evil.
Yeah.
Like,
so maybe he'll be like...
Chris, what if they use Baron Mordo in the MCU to do Jason Aaron's Doctor Strange?
Ooh.
Yeah.
End of magic.
Mm-hmm.
Because honestly, like, that's probably out of Doctor Strange stories, other than Strange and Doom, that's probably the only other story I could think of doing with Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
Because that's like the only big major arc he's had.
I mean, there's also the Omen, but that's like 2 issues.
Yeah.
Also, speaking of
Buster talk.
speaking, I was gonna move on to the White Vision debate that got Twitter talking about philosophy sometimes.
That was fucking great. It took me back to the days of Age of Ultron before everybody started saying that movie was trash for no reason.
Yeah, I mean, like, I just like how this is a very like Vision way to do it. Just like he appeals to the logical side of like, instead of just all fisticuffs. So I
But it's
think
like
it was
an emotion. It's an emotional logic of going like, hey, wait a second, take a breather. You're kind of trying to kill Vision, yes, but you are Vision.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
Fuck.
I've been killing myself.
But like, he listens to Vision, and Vision goes like, all right, cool. Let me just give you the memories that I had. Like, Bob, all right, cool. What are you gonna do? I'm gonna go think a bit.
When do you think we're gonna see him again? How long do you think it'll be?
I think it'll be like a year or two. I don't think we're seeing him anytime soon.
Part of me thinks he's gonna do, like, I can't remember what story it was, but there was a story where Vision basically, oh no, it was Earth X. It was Earth X, where Vision floated above a city, intangible and immovable, for like a year, just processing what happened. And I think he might do that. Like, he may just be floating over like something somewhere, like maybe Avengers compound or whatever, and then nobody can touch him, nobody can contact him, and he's just floating there until they want to use him again.
Excellent.
Can I just say, I hate the new, because like when they purify White Vision, I hate the eye effect. It looks so uncanny. They gave him. It was weird. I prefer the white eyes. Yeah, those are just much cooler and fit with the design better.
But the more humanistic eyes are meant to show like, this is a Vision, while yes, still cold and calculating, isn't a ruthless murder machine.
He's not the Terminator.
Is it's
design. It's storytelling over design.
Yeah, I can vibe with that, but still,
the exact opposite of Tokusatsu.
I hate that. This is why I'm a Toku fan. Anyway, speaking of toys, we got Wanda's in the Scarlet Witch look now. How do we feel about that?
That's a Marvel Legend I want.
I'd let her step on my face.
Dang it.
Okay, well, I didn't think we were going in that direction. All right.
You set me up.
Oh, we didn't. Anyway, yeah, it honestly feels like very, like, honestly, the suit design gives me a very Marvel Legends-y vibe. Honestly, like, just, it literally looks like a toy straight out of Marvel Legends. I don't know.
That's true.
But it also looks like a lot of, like, that's her costume post House of M.
Okay.
But,
we'll still, like,
you know what
else
about,
like, the pattern.
Like? You know what else it looks like?
I'm scared.
Do me a favor. Google X-Men Apocalypse Magneto.
I know.
Yeah. It does have some House of Magnus vibes.
Yeah. Also, I like the little long coat, but I'm just a sucker for like long coats and designs. So, hooray, long coat. Also, Agatha was totally thirsting over her when she went into sitcom mode.
Yes. Here's a direct comparison that I found on Facebook.
Yeah. Oh no. Yeah. No. Very much so.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That totally looks like Magneto from Apocalypse.
I don't know. Maybe they're leading into some of the weird multiversal Nexus stuff when it's going to come to mutants, because I don't know if they're going to want to retcon Wanda and Quicksilver as being mutants in the MCU, because they have been on-off mutants in the comics. I'm very much more of the opinion that they need to be mutants.
I could see the MCU going like, they're not mutants, but Magneto was a sperm donor.
Also, that scene where like they have to say goodbye to the kids, man, that kind of hit. That hit hard, man.
God, I was.
I didn't cry, but like it was pretty sad.
Can't wait to see them in a few years now.
I hope.
Yeah. So that end credit scene.
Which one?
The second one, which is literally just the end credit scene from Incredible Hulk.
Yeah,
What?
the Wanda end credit scene.
There's a end credit scene in Incredible Hulk.
In Incredible Hulk, there is a post-credit scene where, because remember the motif in that movie of like such and such day since Hulk incident pops up on the screen every once in a while. It zooms to him at like a cabin in the mountains, and it goes in, and Bruce is meditating on the floor in the cabin, and then he just opens his eyes, and you see the days counter like go down to 0, and then it just goes to black.
Like he has control.
Mhm.
But no. That's I dig that. It was fine because it makes sense for Wanda to go like, you know what? I fucked up. Let's just not be around people.
Mhm.
Also, I like the eerie vibes.
Time to learn some shit.
I feel like that was some very with Skillshare.com, the sponsor of today's podcast.
Don't give them free advertising, not until they pay us.
Dang it.
I mean, you may have to do ad reads for Twit at some point, but we'll get there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could see it on.
I looked at some stuff.
Yeah, I haven't done it on either of the other ones just because I wanted to talk to you about it. But let's continue.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I really like the end credit scene because there's 2 end credit scenes. One that was setting up Captain Marvel 2, and the one that was just what's Wanda doing now. I like the Wanda one much more because it was like one that it relates to the show more, and 2, it gave out very eerie vibes when like we saw Wanda meditating and learning. It was very cool. I feel like Sam Raimi himself directed that scene as a setup for multiverse.
Yeah, it does have that kind of vibe, but also it parallels what Strange did in Doctor Strange 1 of astral project and study, where in Doctor Strange it was very like calm. He was just doing it. And this, it's very much like diving deep into the chaotic nature of chaos magic within Marvel continuity.
Yeah. And then I have a Captain Marvel 2 set up.
Or Secret Invasion.
Oh, yeah, good point. Secret Invasion's also a thing that's coming. I think it's what comes first? I think Captain Marvel 2 comes first.
I do not know.
I don't think they've officially confirmed when Secret Invasion's coming out.
Yeah, so didn't they? Let me look at Captain Marvel 2 release date.
I know Captain Marvel 2 is coming out after Miss Marvel.
It comes out 2022, so next year.
Yep. So this may be like Secret Invasion, Miss Marvel, a little bit of all that stuff. They're definitely leading towards.
Is Miss Marvel coming out before Captain Marvel 2?
I think
it comes out this year.
Yeah.
How much you think Carol's going to be in that, if at all?
I hope
in credit scene like they did with these 2 things.
Yeah, I just think honestly, like I don't hate MCU Carol, but I want them to focus on Kamala for the Disney Plus.
But here's the thing: to focus on Kamala, you also have to focus a little bit on Carol Danvers because that's why she calls herself Miss Marvel.
But like,
just make her a Captain Marvel fangirl.
That's what she is.
That's like literally in the comics. She does Captain Marvel.
Hey, I have read the G. Willow Wilson run. You don't need to school me, okay? I'm just fucking saying how it works.
Audience. I'm schooling the audience at Boingo.
I've read that fucking run.
Whoa.
All right,
a bit big for his bridges.
Bitch, okay, fine. You know what? You know what they're leading up to? You know what the next phase of this whole goddamn thing is? It ain't Thanos. You know what they're doing? They're leading to Kree Skrull War. They're leading to the Kree Skrull War.
I knew you were gonna say that. Haha, see ya. Dang.
Well, Thanos is dead, so I don't see how it could have been him anyway.
But you know what? Yeah. You know what? Like that's the next big thing. People go like, "Oh, what's the next big bad?" It's not going to be a big bad. It's the Kree Skrull War. And guess what? We're going to get in Fantastic Four or Secret Invasion.
The Kree Skrull.
We're going to get some Skrulls brainwashed into cows, so we can have on film Vision crawling to his team base, going, "3 cows shot me down."
Okay.
That's the most iconic line, one of the most iconic lines in Marvel Comics.
Okay, I'm sorry. Like, I never heard of that.
How have I never heard of it then?
Yeah, I was just about to say.
Because you're not a Marvel fan.
Dang, Boingo, dang.
That's fair. That's fair.
Don't shade. Boingo get on his big comic throne.
This is such a lovely day at the comic shop. So.
Yeah, I guess that's where this podcast candidly takes place.
But no, it was in the Kree Skrull War. They're trying to figure everything out, and Vision's crawling to Captain America and Thor and Iron Man go and like help me 3 shot me down. It's like classic Vision.
So anything else we got to say about the WandaVision finale?
I was just gonna say, getting back to that end credit scene, I think with the voices of the kids being heard right before she rushes off, the kids might be in Multiverse of Madness. She might go to Doctor Strange for help getting them back.
Maybe. I mean, that is kind of what happened in the comics, but it's not exactly. Like, I'm trying to remember exactly what happened in the comics, because House of M ends, and basically the soul of Tommy and Billy gets sent back in time and reincarnated as 2 completely unrelated people. So I think that honestly might have happened.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know what's real anymore.
What's real is what's in front of you.
Yeah, so what's in front of me is a Discord chat.
Oh shit. It's a lot of ones and zeros.
Yeah, but yeah. So should we wrap up with like final thoughts on the whole show as a whole?
I think the show itself was good, and it leaned super into the mystery to make it feel unique, but it did basically go. But honestly, I think the mystery itself was a misdirect, because the show is just going like, Wanda's fucked up and she needs to process this, and the whole show was her processing it.
Yeah.
Like, there was no big mystery. It was exactly as you thought, and that's the mystery.
Okay. I thought it was a pretty good show. Not sure how I would put it in my MCU rankings. Honestly, like, maybe this is just me being a stupid person, but I like the sitcom parts the most. I know like lots of people hated the sitcom parts. I thought that was like what made it unique and the best.
No, that was the point of the show, definitely.
Yeah, I thought those were the best parts. I feel like I found the live stuff outside of it hit and miss, particularly the action scenes. I feel like those weren't really that gripping. Dialogue was pretty good. Episode 4, despite not being sitcom, was one of the best episodes, I think. Mainly because I feel like it was well written enough and had enough like mystery to it that it was engaging, instead of just like having to like rely on like, hey, this is we're gonna make a really good sitcom. I thought like episode 9 was the weakest, not because there weren't any big reveals, just because the action was just not good. I don't know, it was okay, but like not like engaging or like, I mean, really my favorite action beat was like one of the first action beats where White Vision was gonna crush Wanda's face, but other than that, it just felt like a Marvel slugfest, and no impact really stood out to me.
And I would say that like I really enjoyed the sitcom bits, but I feel like mostly they did a very good job about telling a story about grief and very unhealthy ways of dealing with it.
Yeah. Honestly, that was very topical for like what I've been experiencing in my life. Not personally, but just seeing other people.
Yeah. Like the sitcom stuff was great. It was fun. It was really neat for those of us who grew up on sitcoms or just general TV nerds. But mostly I just think the show was hopefully a very good learning experience for some people out there, because a lot of people have been reacting to the show not remembering what actually watching TV is like. Like, this show has been a wake-up call for me, seeing like, oh, everybody is so used to binging now that they don't understand how TV works. And I hope that this show and other freaking MCU and Star Wars and whatever the hell projects Disney Plus has going on sticks to the weekly release format and makes people understand how TV is supposed to work again, because good God, has some of the frustration and theorizing from people, not on this show, but on other shows, been frustrating to watch.
I think the over exuberant theorizing and going like, oh, speculation and everything, which we've done. We've talked about Mephisto. We talked about like multiverse and Fox and X-Men
and Magneto
and all that kind of stuff. We theorized it, but we've always taken ourselves with a grain of salt. It's like, wouldn't it be cool if?
Yeah, wouldn't it be cool if Wanda suddenly turns into a Marvel vs. Capcom 4?
Not if
What
this
if
is not. This is
Sentinel show?
definitely happening. That guy's definitely Mephisto. That guy's definitely Mephisto.
Yeah, like I think that's the thing people need to learn, especially like with a lot of pop culture media that we're dealing with now, is it's fun to speculate, it's fun to fan theorize, but you gotta take media as it's given to you and not what you thought it would be.
I mean, we all just need to hold Jack Kirby's greatest quote a little closer to our hearts. Kid, comics will break your heart. Don't get too invested.
I love Jack Kirby. Such a good.
He's
He's
the
a
king
good
for
guy.
a reason.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So man.
And
Like-
on that note, I think that does it for this episode, and for a little worse than a pod, a little better than a cast on a whole. So, Buster, tell the good people who you are and where they can find your stuff.
Hi, I'm the Buster Corp. I just made a video on why I thought Beast Morphers was disappointing. Check it out in my channel and also my other stuff. And also, on this channel I work with Vac to make a tokusatsu podcast called This Week on Toku, and Boingo composes the theme song. It's pretty fun. You might have a guest on soon, so check
We
that
might
out.
have had a guest on soon because this will be coming out on Friday.
Oh yeah. So can I just say who the guest is?
Yeah.
Jake from Database Ranger. He's gonna be on there, so or he was on there, so that's cool.
Go listen to the Data Man. But before you do, Buster, you want to tell people about some stuff?
I
Or
just
not-
did.
Boingo. I meant to say Boingo.
That's what happens when you have two people with internet handles that both start with B.
Yeah.
This
Maybe I should start calling you Miriam.
Nah, I prefer Buster to be honest.
Okay.
Buster Bunny, how's Arthur doing?
I don't know because all I know about Arthur is the Matt Damon character.
Oh, good.
You mean actual Matt Damon?
Yeah, he
No,
was in an episode of Arthur.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You will never eat lunch in this town again.
But hey, howdy, I'm Boingo Writer. I do video essays and editorials on the YouTube on a variety of subjects ranging from, but not limited to, anime, professional wrestling, and video games. And some Toku. I've done some Toku. Yeah. when the fancies hits me. You can find me on YouTube at Boingo Writer. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Boingo_Writer. You can join my Discord server. A link to that is in the description. And you can go follow me on Twitch. And I go and stream there every once in a while. I haven't done it in a week, but I hope to do it some more soon. Yay. Yeah.
And I am the Vacuuminator, a YouTuber who makes videos on toys and analysis of various nerdy types of media. You can find my back catalog of stuff because I'm on hiatus at the moment, don't you know? But you can find my back catalog at youtube.com/thevacuuminator. That's TheVacuuminator. You can also find me at the Vacuuminator on Twitter, where I say random bullshit. And you can check out my action figure photography on Instagram at @_Vacuuminator. And you can do us all a huge favor by, if you're on YouTube, giving us a like and a comment, subscribing and ringing the bell to enable notifications, and I guess following us if you're on Anchor or Spotify or something. Check out Modular Media on Twitter at the Modular Media for updates on the show when and if it's coming out. And join our subreddit r/modular media. But that's going to do it for this episode of A Little Worse Than a Pod, A Little Better Than a Cast. And I guess A Little Worse Than a Pod, A Little Better Than a Cast on a whole is kind of over, because we can't use this
violin
name
music.
we can't use this name for Falcon and Winter Soldier. And oh god, what are we going to put out on Friday? Snow Cone's not back yet. What are we going to do? What are we going to do?
Well, you see, the whole Mephisto thing wasn't quite wrong when we were talking about it,
What?
Yeah, so, you see, I kind of, talked to some people.
I'm sorry?
Yeah, a little friend of Peter's, a little friend of Johnny's, one of him. We're kind of locked into a contract to make another podcast.
Dang it!
I didn't sign any contract.
I did.
What podcast? Why did you sign a contract? What's the deal?
And why did you get our not why did you get our signatures? How did you get our signatures?
Well, it's a metaphysical contract, so it can do a lot of nebulous things, you know? I mean, Peter, he signed a contract in, say, one person, but it also rewrote the memories of everybody in reality. So, you know, contracts can do a lot of interesting things.
Boingo, stop beating around the bush. What's going on?
Well, tune in to a few weeks from now where we're starting the No Prize Podcast, a Marvel podcast where we talk about MCU movies, television shows related to Marvel characters, video games, and other such merchandise of Marvel Comics, and, of course, the esteemed competition.
Oh, God, this is what I get for starting a Toku podcast to talk about my favorite thing. Now,
okay, does this
am I going to have to be on this? Am I going to have to be on this every week?
Someone's gonna have to be on it every week with me.
Does this mean we have to do the Snyder's Justice League movie?
No. I mean, technically, it's also part of Marvel canon.
What?
Yeah. So tune in. No Prize Podcast. Excelsior!
Yay!
Enough said.